try to cross strings and play and do not shorten the eighth note. So, not. Don't separate them, make it smooth and let it land and lengthen each note and make it smooth, okay? Don't separate slurs, okay? Play that measure. What is the slur pattern? Every 2 counts. Should help you memorize this. Yeah. So do it again and keep going.
For the beginning.
Yeah, beginning. Okay, it's fine. Good job for the first time actually playing a piece on your new instrument. It's not your instrument, but it's just a new one. It's hard to adjust, I'm telling you. It takes about maybe a week for you to like really get used to it. So I'm going to give you an adjustment period. Okay? You need to adjust. I'm not going to be too hard on you on your instrument. There's no measuring them, so the third line. Great. So now, remember your vibrato is the main thing. The reason why I chose this piece so you can work on vibrato. So right now, I don't want you to think about the bowing. I want you to put your bow down and vibrato for me this first line. Just the first line. Just vibrato only. I want to use your fingers. Good job. Okay, so let's see how your bow now. Make sure you use the long length of the bow. Don't get short now. Now you have a longer bow, okay? Do it. Fill it up. Speed up the bow. Great, good job. Now there are some notes out of tune. Make sure your first finger is a little flat sometimes. Make sure you use a little bit of because the tape, right? You have tape now. Then make sure that tape is right. I don't know if that tape is put in the right spot, right? But it sounds good. So, well, make it more connected, okay? So. Okay, your turn. Be passionate. Vibrato, make it long and legato-y and silky. Right there. When you take an up bow, you separate. You actually separate. There is some air between the hair and the string when you take an up bow. Make sure when you up bow, make it saucy. Make it like spaghetti. If there's meat, there's sauce in between the note, the strings and the hair. If there's no, it gels. It never leaves. Okay? Legato bowing, drunken monkey, whatever. Just making sure that the bow, the fingers are still attached. Yeah, it's 1, 2 together. 1, 2, right? 1, 2 together. Let's work on that. That's so I'm sorry from here. Those measures. Play those notes. That third finger, make sure you put the third finger higher. So put a little arrow on the third finger. Okay, again. Now we're here, you got it. Let me see with the. Let go, play the 3, and then so you can vibrato the 3, and then again you can vibrato the 1 if you let go and play the 1. You know what I mean? Let go, let go. Yep, and then. And burst. Good job. So passionate, okay? But now the thing about a professional versus an amateur versus intermediate are the endings of notes. You kind of cut it off. There's no vibration. You always vibrate even though you're not, the bow is not on a hair anymore. You always vibrate continuously. So you go like this, see? You know what I mean? You always vibrate to keep it going even though you stopped. You have to learn that. So please put this down. Tip on continuing a long note. Vibrate, vibrato, even though the bow is not on the string anymore. Vibrate. I know there is a half rest. Doesn't mean that you cut it off and make it choppy. You want to make it tapered and have a very beautiful lingering sound that vibrates and dissipates in the air. It just like evaporates, like air, water and air. It just evaporates and gets hot and it just disappears. Little by little, right? That's what you want. You want it the sound to vibrate and then disappear lightly and then just gone, okay? You don't want it cut short, like pop, and then it's like, no, you don't want that. Okay, the next part is pretty easy, right? So there's an accidental. There's a G sharp, right? So make sure you play the G sharp, okay? So because you said you kind of practice, right? But you didn't. You did, right? Practice a little bit.
I practiced up to the part where it's.
Okay, so we'll work on that. Okay, that line. So the first, that basically 2 more lines, right? So let's work on that. Okay, so it goes. Well, if that is a midi phrase, it ends on that a half note, okay? And then we'll start the pickup for the next phrase. So for there, now make sure, because of the sharp, right, it's the bass, and there's another sharp. There is also what? A G sharp on the D string. So all G sharps, okay? Make sure you play that with a higher, put a little arrow at the G sharp on the D string right there. Because you're going to play it like a normal third finger, but it's a sharp, okay?
I can't go that fast. I can go a little.
Yeah, so play it. That's why we don't want to play it fast, because you need to play it all in one tempo. Slow down. Let's play it the tempo that's slow like we did before, because you can't play one part slow and one part fast. It's not going to work like that. So let's start slow, okay? Da da da. That speed. 1, 2. Okay,
right, no.
now you got to slow down. Learn to slow down. A professional slows down. Why can't you slow down? I slow down so slow when I try to figure notes out and make sure that my mind, I have enough time to track and then think about it. And then when I do it as a reflective, like a muscle memory, it's because I practice it in first. So let's do it. Just play it slow here. Just play quarter notes, okay? Just learn the notes. Just learn them. Don't even care about the slurs for now. Just learn the notes. So play from the four finger. Da, da. That note is out of tune. Make sure your second finger is a little, sometimes a little flat, a little sharp. Make sure it's in tune. Okay. So now let's practice a drill. We make it where we can play these slurs. The slur is because you have to play it fuller, and you're running out of bow and one end. Okay. Your down bows for sure you can play 4 notes. Your up bows a little short. So every time you get that subtraction of bow, you keep subtracting less and less bow on your up bows. Okay. So do it again, but do it maybe. Let's do slur 2 now. Okay. Let's do slur 2. That should be easy, right? You missed that note many times. What should you do? Okay, good job on that. So now let's play with 4. I bet it's easy now. But the main thing is because it's 4, you have to play a full bow, but your up bows are shorter. So make sure you compensate. Up bows longer, okay? Go ahead. You see? You ended on the half part of the bow at the last note of the up bow. You got to get to the frog. You got to travel, okay? You're fighting gravity, so you have to pull quicker to get to the frog. Okay, do it again. Not your rush. Look, fill up the bow. Fill up the bow. Fill up the bow. Fill it up. Good job. The more speed, the better of the sound, and the more it projects. The tinier or smaller the bow, the less you have 50% of the volume is cut because of that. Okay, so do it again, but make sure one slur into the next slur a sound it's like one big bow. Do you understand? Make it sound smoother between slurs. So do it. Good job. Woohoo! Look how easy that sound. You said you had difficulty? No more. You done it, okay? So now it goes down to piano. You see the piano? So you're gonna be like a little mice, right? Just be very sneaky, right? So we're gonna start on this half note. So you can, okay, so actually we'll start on the up bow. Now put a little tint on the 4th to the 3rd finger because they're close, okay? So make sure you make that 4th finger in tune because not, the 3rd finger is flat. And then the next is open D. So don't get that confused. There's a 4th finger and open D here, okay? So don't get confused. So it goes like this, okay? So. Passionate, isn't it? It's like a really I'm gonna cry. No. you're trying to add some suspense here. First, you start soft, right? So you don't want to be too loud because you got to grow at the crescendo. Then you hear the resolute. You know what resolute in piano is, right? Resoluto. What does that mean?
It's more like each note kind of feels like its own ending. So it's not like each. It's more like bum bum.
Yeah,
Like,
resolute means firm. Resolute means firm, absolute. Okay, so write that down. Resoluto means firm. Firm means accent, more solid. See the accent on top of it? It's like teaching you the piece. Like, hey, resoluto means accent. Okay. Okay, so let's work on these four half notes. Okay. Remember that we practiced that accent vibrato. Nah. There is a bite. Now up bows, you have to bite more. Okay, your turn. Just exaggerate for now, and then we'll take the exaggeration. It's too exaggerated. Good job. The vibrato is intense. It's much more narrower, and the accent of and the bitiness in the beginning of each note makes it much more pow. Okay. Okay, so that is a change in bow strokes. First, you got this legato sound, and then here, that's it. And then you're gonna go back to soft. And then back to. And then soft again. Okay, so there you go. So we have this kind of changing in bow strokes. First, you accent, marcato or martele. Then you go back to legato, and then you martele again, and then you smooth it out, and then decrescendo at the end of that last note. Okay, so let's work on we'll skip for a minute. Since we're at the resolute, let's work the resolute, okay? So can you start at the resolute? You tend to want to accent and rush at the same time. You have to accent with a longer note because you started out at a different tempo and then you played the slurs a lot faster. Do you know? It rushed you. You kept rushing and getting faster. But it's not a race. It should be all the same tempo. So remember to not shorten your half notes, okay? Do it again. Job. Now it is hard to change mode, isn't it? Changing from an accent to legato because the second half wasn't as marcato. You see that? So what do? You kind of wind up on the last half note after the quarter dotted into the eighth. So you wind up to frog, so you have more chop right there. So over here, get to the frog. It's easier to bite at the frog. If you're here, it's harder to bite. You know what I mean? If here, it's okay. Do it again. Do it from there. That measure, starting from that measure. Don't chop here. It's not choppy sound. It's legato, right? This measure, okay? Pull instead of chop. Okay, so now let's go back to the accent right here. Make sure the resoluto you string up, right? So wind up. Do that. Your turn.
Oh no, it's the wrong note.
Don't play any other string though, just that one string. More quick, more speed for the up bows because the up bows are weaker at the tip, right? Yeah. You're using your head nodding. you're bobbing your head and make a jerky sound, right? Jerk the note with your head. Okay, so now let's do this part again, right? So. Okay, your turn. More length, even though you're playing piano, piano doesn't mean small bow, okay? So write that down. Something a reminder, piano does not mean shorter bow or smaller bow. All it does is mean what? Softer. And softer in this case is lighten up on the pressure, right? Not the length. The length is still long. It's just that it's lightened up with the pressure on the strings, right? So do not. So you're playing little itty bitty bows when you play the legato spots. Do you see how much bow I travel? I'm showing you, right? So do it again. Make sure you travel on these legato parts, okay? Now do not chop with the distance chop. Don't distance chop, okay? We're not doing that, okay? There is the bow type where you slam, right? I just want you to what? Bite. It's on the string, see? Yeah, it's still on the string. It's not a distance chop. I want you what? Place and chop, right? A little bite, okay? Good job. So now let's go back to the C section of this piece, right? So let's just call it C, right? So. Your turn. Man, you're getting used to the violin so quickly.